It's 1:30. I'd like to call the meeting of the Traffic and Transportation Commission for August 15, 2022 to order. We'll do roll call. Commissioner Varnell.
Here.
Commissioner Littlefield, who's not available. Commissioner Russell.
Here.
Commissioner Hale. Here, sir. Commissioner Schuline. Here. Commissioner George.
Here.
And Commissioner Cornett.
Here.
Just so you know, there is an action item at the City Council Tuesday about Ward 7. So maybe next meeting we'll have somebody. Okay, we'll go on now to item 2, approval of the minutes of the July 18, 2022 meeting. Can I have a motion, please?
Move approval.
We have a motion to approve from Commissioner George. Do we have a second? Second by Commissioner Russell. Any discussion on the meeting minutes? Okay, we have a motion to approve the minutes from Commissioner George, seconded by Commissioner Russell. Can I have your votes, please? Item has passed with all in favor. Okay, we go on now to item 3, reports from Traffic Management Division in the Counselor's Office. Anything from staff?
All right, you've got our standard monthly report in front of you regarding yield signs that were installed administratively. At the Commission's last meeting, we reported that there were 130 LPIs running across the city. That number was actually incorrect. There were 121. But as of this month, we are now running 157 intersections in that manner. And if you've got any questions about what I reported, I'm happy to answer anything you might want to discuss.
All right, thank you. Counselor's Office.
I do have one item. At the last meeting, we were talking about whether there was ordinances that addressed whether cyclists had to ride in bike lanes when there is a bike lane on the road. And I wasn't aware of such an ordinance, but I looked it up since then, and actually we do have an ordinance that requires that. 32-479. When riding on roadways with designated bike lanes, the bike operator shall ride within the bike lane unless overtaking somebody preparing to turn at an intersection or necessary to avoid debris. So I just wanted to clarify that we actually do have such an ordinance. I checked with courts, and there's been, in the past year, 4 citations issued to this ordinance number. Unfortunately, I can't tell you. There's other provisions in that ordinance, so I can't tell you whether any were issued for that, but only 4 have been issued for that whole ordinance in the past year.
All right, very good. Well, thank you very much.
That's it.
Thank you very much, Counselor. Okay, we go to the consent docket. Is there anyone here to speak against the consent docket item from the Middale Public Schools? Staff, do you have any input on the consent docket item?
This is basically a cleanup item. What the Middale Public Schools voted to close Highland Park Elementary last year, and so we were just notified by the superintendent that none of the school and traffic control set up for that school were needed anymore, so this is just a consent item to go ahead and remove those.
Okay. Do we have a motion for the consent item?
Motion to approve.
And that came from Commissioner Varnell to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second by Commissioner Cornett. Any discussion on the consent item? We have a motion to approve the consent docket from Commissioner Varnell, seconded by Commissioner Cornett. Votes, please. Item has passed with all in favor. Okay, we go now to item 5. Items for individual consideration. Wade Gorley, Chief of the Police, Oklahoma City Police Department, to add a stop control on North Chartel Avenue at Robert S. Kerr Avenue to convert the intersection to all-way stop control. Major, do you have something you'd like to say? Can I have your name and address? And you have up to 5 minutes.
Major Dan Stewart, representing Chief Gorley, address B219 East Main. So I know there's a Traffic Commission report. I don't want to rehash that, but some of the things after looking through it that I was able to find that kind of added to it. The Traffic Commission report found 2 accidents in April that occurred at the intersection. There was one that occurred in July 19th, and then one that occurred back in December. Of those 4, 2 were injury, 2 were non-injury, and what I found was interesting was all the accidents, the driver that was driving west, traveling west across Chartel from Robert S. Kerr, 3 of the 4 stated that they left the stop sign, did not see anybody, and then the accident happened. The third one thought, or the fourth one thought it was a 4-way stop and pulled out in front. We recognize that if a stop sign is granted, that we'll lose the parking spot in front of municipal courts. We're okay with that. We understand that that's a consequence of it. I talked to the communication director and of 911, which they're right there by it, and they said if you stand there at any given amount of time, you see a lot of near misses. And then last but not least, there's a lot of pedestrian traffic. So our municipal court officers will walk people across the street to court and then, to the jail, from the jail to court, and then you have people that are going to city court, going to the jail. So there's a lot of pedestrian traffic. So those are the things that, after reading the report, that I thought, you might be interested in.
All right, thank you very much, Major. Anybody else wanted to speak on item 5A? Staff?
We've got our comments before you. As the Major noted, there will be, because state law and municipal code prohibits parking within 30 feet of a stop sign, they will be losing a couple of parking spaces that are currently set up on Chartel, approaching the intersection adjacent to the courts building. And at this particular location is going to be kind of a little bit of an oddity because it'll be situated in between signal-controlled intersections on Chartel, where, as opposed to further to the south, where they're almost exclusively all stop controlled. But other than that, if you've got any questions, happy to answer them, and action on the item will be at the discretion of the commission.
All right, thank you very much. Do I have a motion concerning item 5A?
Mr. Chairman, I move the application be approved.
We have a motion to approve from Commissioner Schuline. Do we have a second?
I'd like a second.
We have a second by Commissioner Cornett. Do we have any discussion? Okay, we have a motion to approve item 5A from Commissioner Schuline, seconded by Commissioner Cornett. Can we have your votes, please? Item has approved, passed, with all in favor. Thank you, Major. We go on now to item 5B, Marion Analapo, to add stop control on North Lindsay Avenue at Northeast 5th Street to convert the intersection to an all-way stop control, and 2, add stop control at North Lindsay Avenue at Northeast 6th Street to convert the intersection to all-way stop control. Ma'am, can I have your name, address, and you have up to 5 minutes.
My name is Miriam Monalapo. My address is 516 North Lindsay, 73104. And I'm asking for the stop signs because traffic on Lindsay is 25 miles an hour, but the people who are getting off of work, they're using that to bypass Lincoln. So they come down my street, going like 40, 50 miles an hour, and it's 25. And I do have a daughter, and I stay right on Lindsay. So if she go out in the front yard and anything was to happen, it's a problem. And then I do have some other kids in the neighborhood that stay right on the corner of 5th Street. I just want the people to slow down. I've been calling the police every day after I get off work, so they will come and sit and try to control the traffic, but it's not working. So I just asked for the 2 stop signs to slow people down so they can go 25. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Do we have somebody else that wants to speak? Ma'am, if I can have your name, address, and you'll have up to 5 minutes.
Hey, my name is Doris Patton, address 629 Northeast 5th Street, right there by 5th and Lindsay. And I'd say ditto to everything that she has said. The OU police, the Oklahoma Health Science Center police, will park in front of my house to catch people speeding down Lincoln. And they're getting off from OU Medical Center, and like they're bypassing, rather than go straight to 8th to Lincoln, they cut through there. And there's a sign, black and white sign that says speed limit 25. It's just like, hey, it ain't there, okay? And I walk I mean, you know, through the neighborhood, and it needs to be done.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Anybody else wanting to speak on item 5B? Okay, staff?
All right, you've got our traffic summary before you. When we reviewed the intersections with respect to the cities and the MUTCD always stop control criteria, we found that based on traffic conditions, neither intersection satisfied criteria for the use of this particular type of traffic control. So action on the item will be at the discretion of the commission.
All right, thank you. May I have a motion concerning item 5B?
Move approval of the application.
We have a motion to approve by Commissioner George. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was seconding the motion.
Okay, we have a second by Commissioner Russell, with a half a second by Commissioner. All right, do we have any talk on item 5B? Yes, sir.
This does take care of both stop signs, they're not individual, correct?
Right. The motion is for item 1 and item 2.
Stuart, can we get an update on where the ASAP program is? Because obviously this is a speed abatement issue, not like necessary for all stop control, like in traditional way. So do we have any idea?
I don't have any current updates for you. I know that it's in the director's office being reviewed. I know they're looking at funding options, but
Yeah.
I'm
This
waiting to
just
get
seems like
comments
a
back.
really good option, especially because we have so much cut-through traffic to do something other than stop signs, especially with how wide that street is, and it doesn't look like it has a lot of parking that's making it feel narrower. But without that, I mean, stop control is probably our only option if we don't have actual speed abatement options, unfortunately.
To tag along with Commissioner Cornett is stop signs are for right-of-way, they're not for speed. You're going to get my support today, but just want to warn you that this may not fix your speeding issue. I just want to make you be aware of that. So don't be alarmed if you get your stop signs, but you still see people cutting through and blowing right through those stop signs. Hopefully not.
Okay, any other talk on item 5B? Okay, we have a motion to approve item 5B from Commissioner George, seconded by Commissioner Russell. Votes, please. Item is approved and is passed with all in favor. All right. Yes, ma'am. Okay, we now go to item 5C, Timothy Johnson, PE President, Johnson and Associates. To consider one, a reserved parking space for the physically disabled on the west side of North Rhode Island Avenue from approximately 80 feet north to 115 feet north of the north curb line of Northeast 23rd Street. And two, a full-time passenger and a pen and ink change on that and commercial loading zone on the north side of Northeast 23rd Street from approximately 100 feet west to 180 feet west of the west curb line of North Rhode Island Avenue. Yes, sir. And name, address, up to 5 minutes.
Caleb Morgan, Johnson Associates, 1 East Sheridan Avenue, Suite 200. Thank you for hearing this afternoon. It is a proposed hotel that's going in this location, and they're improving the street around it, including parking, parallel parking on Rhode Island with that ADA parking spot. So that's the first item. And then the drop-off zone is a lay-by for the operations of the hotel. We appreciate staff's review of this and be happy to answer any questions.
All right, thank you very much. Anybody else wanted to speak on item 5C? Staff?
All right, you've got our comments before you, and as you had noted earlier, the motion for approval on this item for Part 2 should include the notation that the loading zone is to be set up for commercial purposes in addition to passenger loading purposes. Aside from that, happy to answer any questions you might have on the application.
All right, thank you very much. Do we have a motion concerning item 5C?
I think
Oh,
first,
Counselor.
we should do a motion to formally amend that and have everybody vote on that, and then we'll vote on that amended motion.
Okay, so what we need is a motion to add "and commercial" after passenger in item 5C, Part 2.
Right.
Okay, can I have a motion for that, please? Motion. We have a motion approved by Commissioner Hale
Second?
and a second by Commissioner George. Any other talk on this item? Okay, we have a motion. Well, let me just make sure we can do that. Can we do that down here, or do we need to do a voice? Okay. Okay, we have a motion to amend item 5C subsection 2 to add "and commercial" after passenger. And that's a motion by Commissioner Hale, seconded by Commissioner George. Let's start at Commissioner Barnell.
Yes. Yep.
Yes for me. So all in favor? Okay. All right, so now I would like to have a motion concerning item 5C.
Correct.
Motion approved by Commissioner Hale,
Second?
second by Commissioner George. And now we don't have to put it in the motion to have it approved because it's already in there. Okay, got it, Counselor. All right,
Little procedural lesson for you.
I got it. Earning that big paycheck today. We're all partying on his check. All right, any talk on item 5C? Okay, we have a motion to approve 5C by Commissioner Hale, seconded by Commissioner George. Can I have your votes, please? Okay, item has passed. Would all in favor? Thank you for your help. Okay, item 6, comments from citizens. Anybody want to talk to us? Okay, now we'll go to item 7, reports and other items from traffic commissioners, et cetera. Commissioner Varnell?
I always miss Red. I know he's not in our traffic commission anymore, but I was glad to quote him today. Yes, you did.
Over to Commissioner Russell.
I have nothing. I guess I should since Commissioner's not here and Rob's not here.
No, Rob's not here, and if he's out there, thanks, Rob. We're going to be
Well,
out of
you see,
here
there's
early.
this day that, I have nothing. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Hale?
Nothing, sir.
Commissioner Shuline? Commissioner George?
Not today. Thanks.
Commissioner Cornett? Of course.
Of course. I just wanted to say something, just real quick. Right before the meeting started, I just asked a question, and I just kind of wanted to get it on public record so that we can have a follow-up eventually, so it doesn't get lost. But we talked earlier about the police department keeps track of the top 10 spots where there are incidents, whether it's speeding or accidents, I would imagine. But that's not being shared at this time with the city traffic department. And so I think there may be some collaboration on, maybe we receive it and there's something that we can look into to make those intersections or straightaways, whatever it is, just a little bit safer moving forward. But I appreciate both of your parts in that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, look, I know currently we already track the top 10 accidents. I think I get it monthly, but I'll confirm. I'll get with traffic and I'll see what other stats they're keeping track of, and then we'll just communicate from there.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Well, let me just ask, you just looking for it to get to the staff, or you want it to come out to the traffic commissioners also?
Right now, I would just like it to go to staff, but if there's a use for it
Okay.
here, then that would be wonderful. At this time, I would really like just for staff to receive it so that they can look at the intersection and say, oh, well, this tweak or this paint that needs to be added or whatever could help make that a little bit safer so that we limit the amount of policing that needs to happen there, but also we're making it safer.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Great idea.
Captain, for item 2, or 5B, I mean, the one with the stop signs, she mentioned that OU police is out there from the OU hospital. Maybe is it something you could send somebody out until the stop signs are put in to just watch that area, especially when that first shift leaves? When that first shift leaves, what, 3:30, 4 o'clock or whatever?
Sure, yeah, I can build an extra patrol, have people look at that and even get with motors, see if they can sit out there. I did have a question, just I'm new to the commission. How long does it take for the stop signs to get installed when something like that gets approved?
Depending on workload, it could probably be, we will issue service requests for it this week, and they may go in as potentially as early as next week.
Okay, because I think the extra patrol is good, but I think even after the stop signs are in, I mean, even if it, first it's educational purposes, but making sure people are being reminded that they are there. So.
And we can let Major Schofield over at OUPD know.
Okay.
All right, very good. Okay. Captain, do you have anything for us? Anything else?
No, nothing further.
Okay. All right, I think that's about it. Does anybody else have anything for the Traffic and Transportation Commission? All right, we stand adjourned.